Okay, 31, they give you f of x is 6x squared minus x plus 1, and g of x is x minus 3. If you're having a hard time noticing that, those equations are written at the bottom. They're asking you to solve for f of g of x initially. So remember, f of g of x just means f of g of x as such. F of x is 6x squared 6x squared minus x plus 1. And g of x is x minus 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to replace g of x with what it's equal to, which is x minus 3. And then we're going to solve for f of x minus 3. So what I always like to do is like to rewrite the original function. So f of x is 6x squared minus x plus 1. And I'm going to replace the x with x minus 3. So notice what I did there. X is now x minus 3, so x is now x minus 3, x is now x minus 3. Everything else is the same, and then we just clean up. So this is going to give me 6x minus 3 times x minus 3. X minus 3 squared means you just multiply by itself, minus x minus 3 plus 1. So I just keep cleaning it up. X minus 3 times x minus 3. Which gives me x squared minus 6x plus 9. If you don't believe me that it's x squared minus 6x plus 9, you can multiply x times negative 3, and then here we're going to have x times negative 3, so it's 2 negative 3's, which gives me negative 6. And I'll go ahead and distribute the negative here as well, minus x plus 3 plus 1. And then I'm going to distribute the 6. And I get 6x squared minus 36x plus 54 minus x plus 3 plus 1. And now I'm going to combine like terms. So I have negative 36x minus x, which gives me 6x squared minus 37x. And then I have 54, 3, and 1. So 54 plus 3 is 57, plus 1 is 58. And there's my final answer. So f of g of x means this. We've replaced g of x with x minus 3. So here we replaced, every time I see x, I replace it with x minus 3. And then I simplified. And that gives me the answer. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So on the other side, we're given g of f of x, which gives me g of f of x. And so if f of x is this and g of x is this, I'm now going to replace f of x with what it's equal to. So it becomes g of 6x squared minus x plus 1. Okay. And so this is now going to give me, given that g of x is x minus 3, and I give you g of 6x squared minus x plus 1. If I solve, all I'm going to do is every x is going to be replaced with 6x squared minus x plus 1. So this becomes 6x squared minus x plus 1. That's the x part, minus 3. So just trying to be clear here, that goes with that, and that goes with that. So finishing this off, we can drop the parentheses really here. They don't really matter because we're adding and subtracting everything. So all I have to do to finish this off is put 1 minus 3, which is negative 2. So the final answer is 6x squared minus x minus 2. And there we have it. So hopefully that makes sense, and I'll see you in the next video.